On this episode of Doing the Most, we're gonna brew beer at home.
Homemade brews and various how-tos, everything from meat to
Stuff.
bake creation, fermentation, inebriation,
Enough. You're gonna brew this beer,
Okay.
and we are gonna clone a popular beer brand.
Okay. Do we know what beer brand that is?
Oh yeah. I got a couple of things for you.
Oh no.
I got this sixer.
A fiver.
And then I got this one that I opened yesterday because I feel like it's really important as we're developing our flavor profile to taste one that's both warm and flat.
Oh my god. This is like
Just for science.
13-year-old me finding a pack of Natty Light by the river. How much does a sixer at Natty Light cost these days? About $3?
The brew challenge in this video is going to be doing a clone recipe of Natty Light without using any of the traditional ingredients that you would use to make beer.
Perfect. Can't fail.
It's like got an absurdly low alcohol content, 4.2%. So this is basically distilled water.
Yeah.
We should shotgun it.
Nope.
No?
All right.
I've never had a Natty Light before, so I don't know what. Just really aggressively pouring.
Yeah, I am. Gotta really get that flavor going.
A little bit smells like a wet field, like when you're downwind from the lake.
That's the best time to enjoy a Natty Light. Yeah, I mean this is what it is. I mean it's not like disgusting, but it's
All right,
not
polish
good
that
beer.
off. Okay.
It's natural.
So this is going to open up our palates. None of the nuanced complexity of Natty Light will be hidden under the 37 degrees that I had this chilled to.
This is gonna taste terrible.
And also, I cracked it open, put it underneath a paper towel for 24 hours. That way we aren't bothered by any of the carbonation that would typically affect us.
That's probably plenty. Yeah. What temperature do you think we're gonna enjoy this at?
House is about 66 degrees downstairs right now.
Did you smell this?
Smells like a urinal.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Okay, bottoms up. It's much worse warm. It tastes kind of like chlorine.
Yeah,
Like
it
a-
kinda
like
tastes like
pool
pool
water.
water. Yeah. It smells like an outhouse and tastes like pool water.
So my goal in replicating Natty Light is to not use any traditional beer making ingredients like malt or hops, any sort of specialty grains. I think Natty Light, I know Budweiser does, but I think they use rice. We're gonna do this outside the box because I really want to provide content for the YouTube audience where they feel like they don't need anything special to create a once in a lifetime treasure of an experience like Natty Light in their own kitchen. And so to do that, I tried to structure what we're gonna make today around things that you can buy at Walmart. Maybe while you're picking yourself up some Natty Light.
Perhaps.
So, the recipe. I'm not picking up a lot of hops.
No.
Bitterness, really at all. How do you feel about the malty character?
It exists.
Yeah.
It's not prominent. So, I mean, very little malt.
We need delicate bittering, and we need something to bring up just a little bit of body, and we'll get started brewing. So for the bittering element, for our replacement hops, I decided we would go with chamomile tea
Okay.
and a little bit of orange peel. The internet is really hip on adding raisins to freaking everything right now. We're gonna use this whole tin of raisins. For
The whole 10?
The whole thing.
Okay.
To give this some body. Yeah, so for our fermentable sugars, we are going to use white sugar, table sugar, and brown sugar. Because I feel like the brown sugar would lend a nice malty character to what we're creating today. So I'm going to go boil some water to make the chamomile tea. And I'll be right back with 5 cups of chamomile tea. And in the meantime, if you could start adding the raisins to the fermenter, that would be helpful for me.
Perfect.
Do you like raisins?
Yeah. What is this gonna taste like?
Natty Light.
No.
All of this bag of frozen corn needs to go in there. It's hot.
Hot corn?
I'm just warning you.
That is hot.
It was in the freezer, and the instructions said to microwave it. The internet said that chamomile is a great substitute for hops.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know that I buy that.
Oh, you're about to find out. Yahoo Answers is your trusted source for all things.
Hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
See, this is gonna add some of that nice yellow color that the Natty Light has.
That's
too.
true. That is true. Maybe. That and the corn.
Put some butter in there too.
Why not? I hear added fats are always a good process.
It's good for head retention. All right, we need a couple of these slivers here. That should be sufficient. That's all. I'm just gonna eat this now.
Okay.
Natty Light is 4.2% alcohol, so if my math is correct, we're gonna need 2 pounds of white sugar and 1.5 pounds of brown sugar. Orange slice?
Sure.
Oh, looky there. It's got the ingredients right there on the side.
Does it include corn and raisins?
Water, barley, malt, cereal grains, hops, yeast. So, you know, they're maintaining some trade secrets there.
The essentials.
Well, I presume it's a lager, but we're not going to use a lagering yeast. We're going to use champagne yeast. I feel like it'll give us the crispiest, cleanest flavor profile, and we should be done fermenting here in about 3 days.
Plus, you're at doing the most. We gotta do the most. We gotta class it up.
Is it Coors or Miller, the champagne of beers?
Miller High Life is the champagne of beers.
Maybe we're not that bougie.
But we are bougie.
But we are I mean, we did put some orange peel in here.
It's
for that
true.
Touch of class.
And champagne yeast.
So this should ferment for about 3 days, probably. Once that champagne yeast, it's EC1118. Once that gets established, it'll cut through
All of this.
the sugar in a matter of a couple of days.
How much do you think we actually spent on these ingredients? I mean,
It's probably doubled by the time you get into the fact that I bought freaking Natty Light.
oh, true.
Uh,
Raisins, like couple bucks.
Couple bucks.
A bag of corn, $1, probably.
this was 59 cents.
The amount of sugar we used was probably $3, maybe.
No, we're probably in for like $20.
$20.
When you add in the yeast.
Oh yeah. And we used what, 3 or 4 gallons of water? Mm-hmm. Those are $1 a piece.
Water adds up, man. So we'll be back once this is ready to rack off. See you then. I think it's gonna be great.
Mmm.
Fermentation kicked into high gear, as you can see by this weird corn raisin lava lamp we created. And a few days later, the raisins and corn had plumped up and were starting to look kind of weird. So I decided it was time to rack this off of the fruit and vegetables and get it into a sanitized fermenter to finish primary fermentation. That's just kind of a safety measure I wanted to do to reduce the risk of infection in this thing, because it's low alcohol and so it might be more prone to getting infected by anything that might be in that corn or raisins. The last thing I wanted to do is walk into the studio and see a fluff of mold sitting on top of the raisins and corn. A few days later, that had finished fermentation and the yeast had started to flocculate out, so I racked it again so I could get a fining agent in it. At this point, we were just a couple of weeks away from our scheduled tasting, so I wanted to make sure it was clear by the time that happened. Took a hydrometer reading and it had definitely completed fermentation. On this racking, I added a hot mix fining agent called Sparkaloid and some Campton tablets. Campton tablets help to ward off oxidation. Sparkaloid is a hot mix fining agent, so you mix about 1 tablespoon of that into a cup of boiling water and then mix that thoroughly with the must. Sparkaloid is charged, so the charged particles will bond to suspended particulate in your brew and help those get heavy and drop out to the bottom, thus clearing the brew. This one was particularly stubborn and took about 2 weeks to drop clear. Couple weeks later, now that it was almost entirely clear, it was time to rack it into the keg because I had about 36 hours before David was going to come over and I had to get it carbonated before then. So I did a burst carbonation on this in the keg. And that keg was holding a little bit of pressure because I ran some warm Starzan through that and through the tubing and out through the spigot just to make sure all the internal elements of that keg were sanitized before the Natty Light clone went in. So that's going to go under pressure in the garage at about 30 psi, and here and there I'm going to take it off pressure and roll it around in the garage to maximize contact between the CO2 and the brew inside the keg, which just helps it absorb a little bit faster. I took one final taste off of the racking system and it is definitely interesting. Not really what I expected, but also at the same time, kind of what I expected.
We should be 6 feet apart, I measure. We're doing social distancing. That's why the lighting is great, and why we are outdoors. We're here to taste test the Natty Light that we made. We assembled this Natty Light clone out of grocery store ingredients, and that was what, like a month ago?
Yeah, 30, 45 days, something like that.
And then I rushed to clear it, got it, I would say like 95% clear. I have a feeling it's gonna pour clear, so I'm not super worried about it. But first I'm gonna pour one of our Natty Lights, and then I'm gonna go inside and pour a real Natty Light into a glass. They're gonna be labeled AB on the bottom, and I will have the true results. And we'll see if you can guess which one is which.
I really hope I can tell between like Natty Light and something we made. Okay, straight off the bat from the smell, I'm pretty sure this is Natty.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of a funk.
How's that one taste? Give us some quick tasting notes.
Taste inexpensive.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot to this. Like, this one, I haven't tasted this one. They might be similar, but like that was one of the complaints with the Natty Light is it didn't taste like anything really. All right. Whoa, this is what we made. It's got some flavor.
What's it taste like?
I don't get any of the raisins.
I'm gonna go grab a glass. I'm gonna go grab a glass. I need to try this off the keg. Yeah, maybe some orange peel.
I could see that.
So when I tasted these the other day from the racking tube, so a little remainder that was in the racking tube, and then I opened up a Natty Light and I poured a little bit into a glass and I microwaved it for like 15 seconds just to get it the same temperature. They tasted basically indistinguishable, except the one that we made had a slight, almost like malty sweetness to it that the Natty didn't have.
Okay.
But it was kind of difficult to tell the difference. And I thought that our orange peel corn raisin crap tasted better.
No, it definitely tastes better because it tastes like something. I mean, it's not off-putting by any means. Like, it's not gross.
It tastes like light beer.
Yeah, with citrus. I mean, there's more citrus
Like
in
a
it
Blue
than
Moon.
like. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Blue Moon fan.
Okay.
But I mean, it's okay. It's a good airport beer. There's definitely more like barley flavor,
I think it's
hoppy.
hoppier.
Yeah, that could be it.
Which is interesting. So maybe we needed more chamomile tea to bring up the bitterness.
I kind of forgot about that, actually. That's fun.
So yeah, like going back through the ingredients in this, there's corn and raisins, white sugar, brown sugar, 2 pieces of orange peel, 5 cups of chamomile tea,
Yeah.
and water.
I mean,
Champagne yeast.
for that ingredients list, hey, it's pretty good.
So would you recommend, so this was $20 to brew a 5-gallon keg. Would you recommend this to like a beginner brewer? Give it a go? Make your own natty clone?
For $20. For $20 and how long? A month?
$20 in a month, and you got a keg of what tastes like beer.
It does.
It
It
doesn't
tastes
taste
like,
like
it's
good beer.
citrusy. It's citrusy though.
It's a little citrus, which is weird since
I-
all that was in there was the
I guess
orange peel.
one orange peel maybe. Calm that down just a bit. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not bad, but it tastes like. The reason you said Blue Moon is because you serve Blue Moon, you squeeze an orange into it,
Yeah.
or put an orange slice in there. That's what I'm getting out of this, which isn't bad, but
Weirdly, I kind of like this.
no, I don't hate it.
I was planning on dumping the keg after this video.
No, I
This
mean,
is
don't do
literally-
that.
This is an April Fool's joke video, but like, you know, at 5% alcohol, and we got a whole keg of it.
I will say this: if this will last through the summer and like not drastically change,
Yeah,
it would be a really good summer day drink.
go fishing,
Yeah.
drag the keg down the hill with us. $20 light beer made of grocery store crap.
For $20 and a full keg, I mean, that's just price per unit right there.
Budget Natty Light. It came out too good, and not Natty Light enough.
No, but it is better than Natty Light. And I'd say it's passable
That's
as like
okay.
a first shot.
Yeah.
Maybe just, you know, a little less orange peel than
So a
we used.
little less orange peel, a little more chamomile. I think this could do to be a little bit boozier,
Yeah, it could be.
honestly.
You get it up to like
You could handle it.
6 to 8%. Then it's worth even more then.
This has been our Doing the Most April Fools video. We tried to clone Natty Light with grocery store stuff and sort of failed and sort of succeeded, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So you can follow us on Instagram and Pinterest at Doing the Most Okay, and our website's doingthemost.org. I don't really have any closing thoughts.
Social distancing
Drink
sucks.
well,
Yeah.
stay home, stay safe.
Get through it.
And, you know, if worst comes to worst, you can make beer with crap from your local grocery store.